Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
Sherry, as soon as we got off that call, she fell asleep. So she's passed out.
Okay, we are live on Facebook and YouTube,
Awesome.
and I'm going to go ahead and hit record.
And I think she might have froze.
Started.
Oh, oh, you're back.
You know what? Maybe you guys go ahead and get started without me. And then I can share the fun stuff, the bookkeeper blueprint, doors open, all of those things at the end if internet decides to work.
Okay.
But Megan, I'll let you take over and introduce her. And I'm just going to go ahead and mute myself. And I will make you host, Megan,
Okay.
in case there's any like true internet issues.
Okay. Sounds good. Let me change my name on here real quick. Okay. Good morning. How is everybody? If y'all are watching on Facebook, definitely let me make sure we got a link there and feel free to join us live. Oh, where did it go? So we can chat with y'all and answer any questions y'all have. Um, some of y'all may know Allie already, but we just wanted to introduce y'all. She has joined the CB4S team with us, and we are super excited about it. Um, she's been doing some of the back end stuff for us, like the website stuff, tech stuff, marketing, all the things. So you've probably seen like some shift in those things. So we're super excited about having her. Um, so she's came on today to answer some questions that y'all may have, talk a little bit about marketing, website, like all those types of things with y'all. So any questions that y'all have, feel free to drop them in the chat. I'm gonna pull up Facebook real quick. Um, and just make sure we cover everything. And just to kind of, I'll give y'all a kind of rundown. Allie is also going to be offering helping with some of the one-to-ones. So if you need help with some of that tech stuff on your bookkeeping business, she's offered to help out with that stuff as well. So feel free. You can book the one-to-ones with her. I'll read the list of some of the stuff that she is available to help with. So anything along those lines, if you have questions related to that, she can probably answer those today. So go high level, Active Campaign, ClickFunnels, Kajabi, Zoom, Canva, Facebook, Business Manager, Group Kit, Monday, Zapier, marketing, email marketing, lead magnets, and Facebook ads. So anything along those lines. And let me make sure Facebook, we don't have any, no, we don't have any comments yet. I guess, Allie, if you want to talk a little bit about um, maybe like lead magnets and email marketing, because we kind of touch on that a lot. And I always feel like a lot of people have a misconception. Like when you say email marketing, it's like, hey, let's just mass email market all these random people, and then you never get any response. And it feels like you're just wasting a ton of time because I was told that in the beginning of my business too.
Right.
So can you talk a little bit on that, I guess, the email marketing side of things and lead magnets?
Yeah, for sure. So, yeah, super excited to be here. I'm Allie. I have a background in marketing. I've been doing it for probably, I don't know, since before I had kids, actually. That's what I did before like the internet businesses really kicked off. So,
Awesome.
love marketing. Yeah, it's totally my jam. Um, as far as email stuff goes, email marketing is super important. There's a level of control that you want to have over your audience when you're marketing. Um, we use social media, we use in person, like you might have like a sign up somewhere. Um, all of these are kind of, you can't control all the variables of these, right?
Right.
Facebook, like we saw a couple weeks ago, totally shut down for a whole day,
Yeah.
at least half a day. And we were all like, we didn't know what
Yeah.
to do. Uh, we were like, how are we supposed to market our business? How are we supposed to sell stuff, right?
Yep.
So with email marketing, you have the control. You have a list of people that you've curated. They are people that want to be there. And like Megan said, we're not just emailing masses of people where we're not buying email lists. You can do that for sure. But like that's not what we recommend. We're not telling you to go out and email 5,000 cold people that don't know you, that don't might not even have, what you're or want what you're offering, right? Um,
Yep.
so as a way to kind of grow your own audience and your own email list, we like to use lead magnets. And lead magnets, it's in the name, it's a way to magnetize that audience and those leads to come to you and join your email list. So it's just a way to control your audience a little more, have, some stability in that. So you're not relying on these outside softwares and social media outlets to do all of your marketing. Social media marketing, super valuable, and we can touch on that too.
Yeah.
Super
Definitely.
valuable. It's free. I mean, do it. but email marketing is so important to start if you haven't yet. Get control
Yep.
of that audience, really get these people on a list that so that they're interested in being there, right? And a lead magnet can be something simple. I mean, you could write a list, and it could be so for example, if you're a bookkeeper for contractors, say, you could write a list of like the top 10 tips for contractors with their bookkeeping. I mean, it doesn't have to be anything fancy. It can be something super simple. And all we want to do for us, what am I trying to say? To send the list, all we want them to do is give us their email.
Email.
And
Yep.
they're super quick and easy lead magnet. We're growing that email list. And again, we just have a little bit more control and we feel a little safer. We don't have to rely on, the craziness of social media and outages and all that stuff.
Yep. Yep, most definitely. And I mean, I know like me, there's a lot of times where people reach back out, and Sherry's said the same thing, like after a couple of years or whatever. So like when you're doing the email marketing, you're still reminding them like, hey, I'm here, this is what I offer and stuff, when they might have forgot or didn't need a bookkeeper at that time or whatever the case
Right.
is. So
Right.
yeah,
And I
that's
mean,
super helpful.
I remember I probably 10 years ago, I was a new mom. I had my first son 10 years ago, and I was looking for ways to make money from home. And I joined, and I don't even know how I got down the rabbit hole, whatever. Boss Moms, which is still huge.
Okay.
Your
Mm-hmm.
email list is still huge. I'm still on that email list. I've been for the past 10 years. It's
That's
just,
funny.
it's crazy to me. And like, I could easily unsubscribe, but I don't. I still like they still come in my inbox. Maybe one day. I mean, at this
Right.
point, I probably won't, but
Right.
it's funny.
You never
Like,
know.
yeah, they stay in your email and you continue to warm them up. I mean, I'm in her Facebook group, so it really works. Like, it really works to kind of collect those leads.
Most definitely. And I mean, I'll tell you, there's a couple of people that I've signed up for their email that comes to my business email when I start my bookkeeping business. And a couple of weeks ago, somebody sent a podcast over, but the subject is like what really caught my eye. And that's probably the first email I've opened from her in a year or two. But that
Like,
subject was like,
really?
ooh, I'm opening this email. So like you never know what's going to catch somebody's
Right,
attention or if it's at the right point in time.
right, exactly. It is. It's It's kind of cool. I mean, it's like this audience that you can continue to grow and you're set. Like if you continue to nurture them, you're good.
Yep, most definitely. And yeah, y'all, so when you're doing the lead magnet, these are like more warm leads than when you're buying the email list and stuff like that. Because then you don't know these people even have their business still up and going or anything for the most part, some of them when you're buying these lists. So um and I wanted to touch on a little bit about so one thing that a lot of people get caught up on, and we'll talk a little bit about Facebook and that social media marketing too, but one thing that a lot of people get caught up on is like that's the only way to market their business, and they think and they feel that way, and I'm not saying y'all, everybody who's talked to me for the most part, that's the majority of how I've grown my business, but it started out pre-COVID, and we kind of all know how that was pre-COVID. You had to meet people in person still then, because people you didn't it, a lot of people still didn't understand, like, hey, we can do all this stuff virtually. Well, COVID happened and everybody learned anything could be done virtually for the most part. So meeting people in person kind of built that know, like, and trust factor a lot quicker, I felt like, for my business. But I mean, I always took it a step further. Like, I went and I met these people in person, but I sent them a friend request on Facebook, add them to your email list, like do all of those things, because you might only see them that one time in person, but they might, and a lot of them that I met in the beginning, they still haven't used my services, but they've known people and have referred people to me since then. So I think that's huge as well. Like, don't necessarily get caught up on like one specific thing, or
Mhm.
if you've been doing one specific thing and you feel like it's not working, there's other ways to market your business out there. So like definitely open that door for sure.
Right. There's so many different ways to market your business. And yeah, like try them all. You might,
Yep.
you might not love email marketing and that's fine. And you might kill it doing Facebook Lives every day. Like
Yep.
that's on you. Like do what is most aligned with you. If you love showing up on video, maybe email marketing and words isn't really your thing. Maybe you just do a YouTube and do like TikToks and Facebook Lives. So
Yep.
yeah, try it all. See what works for you.
Yep, most definitely. That's one thing that I've learned from the beginning of my business. And I always tell everybody, like, you have to figure out what you enjoy doing. A lot of people are like, I don't like marketing and all this, but there's so many different ways to market your business.
Right.
But you have to enjoy it a little bit, or you're never going to show up. Because if you dread doing it, marketing always gets pushed back and then your business never
Right.
grows.
Yep, exactly. You have to feel aligned with what you're
Yep,
doing. And you have to be comfortable. If you
yeah,
are totally uncomfortable and it's just, it's like pulling teeth to get you to do a Facebook Live and you can't talk, and you feel uncomfortable, your audience is going to feel uncomfortable. They're going to feel that
most
energy from
definitely.
you and it's not going to come off genuine. And number one, Facebook Lives, like the whole point of doing it is so that people can see you, feel your energy, get to know you as a person, and feel comfortable with then giving you their money, right? So
Yep,
the whole point of a Facebook Live isn't necessarily to sell, right? It's
right.
to create relationships. We
Most
want to
definitely.
connect with people. Like that's all it
Yep,
is. So if you're showing up and you're super uncomfortable yourself and you're shut off and you have a wall up, it's going to translate. And people aren't going to be as receptive to your offer when you're offering it. So yeah, do what makes you feel good. If you
yep,
love to write, write. If you
yep,
love to show up on video, show up on video. It's
yep.
it's really it comes down to that. Like do what works for you and do what you are excited about doing.
Yep. Yeah, most definitely. Me and Cherry were talking about that whole thing yesterday, and it's like a lot, you have to, it's almost like video, and I'm saying video, but like the lives, the YouTube, like any of those types of things, or in person. And I'm not saying those are the only two ways to build your business either, not at
Right.
all. But those people learn to know you, like you, trust you, all those things a lot quicker So it's like
Yeah.
you have to have one of those if you're wanting to grow your business a little bit quicker, to
Yeah.
kind of build those factors. And then
I
even talking about the writing, I've noticed when I hire people to like write my posts, like in when I'm saying this, y'all, some people like they'll write them specifically for you. Like Allie's been doing some of our marketing. They're tailored specifically to our business and our message and everything. But like when you buy some of these programs where it's like, here's a month worth of posts and post them, I always feel like I don't get any traction from those because it's not me. Like I can
right.
see a difference in the way, just the way they're written. Because the people that I have on Facebook, on social media and stuff, those are people that I've connected with in some sort of way, whether it's a like personality or something, and they've interacted with my other posts. So now I'm throwing these other things up there. So I can definitely tell a difference when it's not me and my energy putting out the work almost, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah, for sure. I had my first coaching call yesterday.
Yay.
And it went really well, and we talked about marketing. And I was telling her, I was like, if you're not comfortable with Facebook Lives, don't do them.
Yeah.
Even if you want to like record a little video, maybe it's the live aspect that's freaking you out, right?
Yep.
That's fine. Do that. But if it's video and period, don't do them.
Yep.
Just do something else. Maybe type up the training and send it out like a lead magnet. You can
Yep.
do that. There's just so many ways to do it. Circling back, you said you were talking about like the copywriting stuff. So like those
Hmm.
templates and stuff that you get, those are great tools, but they're tools, right?
Yep.
You have to learn how to use them effectively for your own marketing, and you have to think of them as tools, not as copy and paste resources, right? So you want to
Yeah.
copy and paste them, but copy and paste them and then doctor them up. Make sure they're
Right.
in your voice because people can tell. And you're
Yep.
right. People can tell when you just copy and pasted something that was, meant sent to hundreds of people. So yeah, like use Chat GPT. That thing is, if you train it the right way, you can really train this AI bot to sound exactly how you would write. It does take a little bit of time to train it, but then you can use those tools that you have, and kind of just make it a little bit easier on yourself.
Yeah, most definitely. I agree for sure with that. And then even like other marketing ways you had mentioned earlier, like signs up about marketing your business, stuff like
Yeah,
that. Y'all, I do that all the time. Like the school needs a sponsor for something, like, hey, I'm gonna donate $100, get my name up there. I mean, and even saying like in-person networking, it doesn't always be an I. Okay, I sponsor my daughter's events. Well, now I'm showing up to those events and just being me. We were talking to somebody yesterday, on the coaching call in the group. And that was one thing that we mentioned to her. It doesn't have to be salesy when you're talking to these people. How many times are you talking to somebody, especially like, okay, my daughter's in private school. I'm at majority of everything. So a lot of the questions that I get asked, most of those people own businesses, but a lot of the questions I get asked is how can you be at these events? Like you're a single mom, you're not work or you're not working, like what is happening? So like that opens the door for, hey, I own a bookkeeping business, like to start the conversation. So you just look for like, make it natural, look for those little keys, words and stuff, like how can you bring this into a conversation. It doesn't have to feel sleazy or slimy like I'm always selling myself or anything like that. It just, especially now, like I'm almost 5 years into my business, it just comes natural when somebody says something, you know how to bring it up. So like definitely practice that, because going
yeah.
to church, like, just like all these different things, there's so many opportunities and you don't even realize it sometimes where
Right.
you
And
can
you
market.
might not realize the audience or like the connections that the person you're talking to has.
Yep.
So, like for example, I'm going to use contractors again. Maybe the woman you're talking to isn't a contractor, her husband's not a contractor, but maybe her brother is.
Yep.
Like you don't know. So and you're right, you don't have to bring it up in like a sleazy, salesy, like it almost feels like you're forcing it type of way. But it can naturally work in. And when you're a business owner, it kind of becomes part of your personality anyways. Um,
Yep.
so it just naturally kind of comes out in conversation a lot of times, because people ask what you do. It's like one of the most common questions that you get asked.
Yeah,
Hi, my
exactly.
name's Allie, and what do you do? This is what I do, right? So
Yep.
it's just like the number one question that you get asked. So it doesn't have to be salesy, but yeah, it always kind of what I've heard and like what I've told people is come up with kind of like a little bit of an elevator pitch. Like if you were to meet somebody in an elevator and they asked you what you did in one sentence,
Right.
what could you say to them that kind of is concise? So you're not like just going on and on and on about your business, and you can kind of then, ask them and not make it all about you. Um,
Yep.
but like one sentence, can you describe what you do in one sentence? And if you can rehearse that and have it, in the back of your mind for when you do get into these conversations, it'll flow so much like more natural, and you won't feel as kind of
Yep.
yucky.
Yep. Most definitely. Um, okay, I don't see any questions yet. If y'all have any questions, definitely let us know. I mean, we can definitely continue talking on marketing, but if anything's talked about and like y'all want more information about it or anything like that, like definitely let us know specifically so we can dive in a little bit deeper to that. Um, so let's see. With so social media marketing, I guess let's touch on that a little bit. You've done some with Facebook ads, like those types of things. Do you find like Facebook ads is something you should do in the very beginning of your business, or like should you have an audience kind of built, or
Yeah, so I would say, I mean, we're in the financial space, right?
yeah,
Um, my best advice would be don't start Facebook ads until your bottom line can take Facebook ads because
I like
the
it.
worst
Yep.
the worst thing I see is people start off, they hit the ground running and they start Facebook ads and they don't, number one, have, the income to support Facebook ads because you can really dump a lot of money into them sometimes. And sometimes they're not as great as they can be, especially when you're first starting out. Like your pixel, which is part of Facebook ads, is really learning your audience as it goes. So like right when you first start out, not the best time to dump a ton of money into it. So number
Right.
one, I would say wait till you're profitable for sure. Number two, start with organic. Start talking to people and connecting to people organically. So that means in a non-paid way. Um, add some people on Facebook if you're using Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, TikTok, whatever you decide to do. Because all those places you can run ads. YouTube. So start organically, start making posts organically. Number one, it's free. You can connect with people, you can make some sales, you can make some money for free with free marketing using, organic methods like that. Number two, when you do start running ads, these cold leads that are coming in from the ads are going to check out your profile. And if you're
Yeah.
not posting anything and you haven't been, it you're gonna look fake. Like it's gonna look like, is this person even really still in business? Like I know that when I'm looking specifically on restaurants, because I love eating. I love, if I look on the Facebook page of a restaurant and they haven't posted in years, I I mean, like, ooh, I don't know. I don't know. Are they still open?
Right.
I even try? Like, should I call? I don't know. But if I go on a restaurant and they have daily specials posted every day and they have, reviews that they're posting and XYZ, like, videos, whatever, pictures of the food, I'm 99% more likely to go to that restaurant. Um, it's just we want to see activity. Like we want to see
Yep.
that you're active, that you care about your business enough to talk about it, and that you're actively trying. to find more people.
Yep. Yeah, so a coach that we work with, that was one thing that she said every time she goes to do business with somebody, she goes and checks them out on Facebook. If they haven't posted in a while, I'm not doing business with you. So it's crazy, like, but that's how it is. And then even like you talking about the restaurants, yeah, like how many times do you want to go and just that as an example, but you want to see pictures of the food because I've never been here. I don't know what I'm getting
Right.
myself into, you know? So same thing, definitely. So
It
yeah,
really is.
definitely something to think about. And that's one thing that I did in the beginning of my business was try to set up on every platform. Not that I utilize every platform fully or all the time or anything like that, but even like LinkedIn, I'm on Alignable, Instagram, TikTok, you know, like all the things. And I'll try to post on there once a week, once a month, something just so I have something there. But because of the fact of that simple fact, like you don't know who's going where to look for you and see like, hey, is she a
Right.
legit business or what's happening, you know?
Right. Right. You never know. I mean, you could make a post in like a local, like your local Facebook group, because everybody has them. Like ours,
Oh yeah.
it's block portions. I could make a post in that group and somebody might be searching Bookkeeper and they'll see my post from years ago.
Yep.
And they'll then click on my link. If I haven't been active for 2 years, they're gonna assume, oh, she must have went out of business.
Yep. I
But
actually got
if
it.
she clicks and there's stuff there,
Yep. I actually got it. And I had somebody reach out the other day, same thing, but I got a few clients from stuff like that from groups that I'm in where people have tagged me. And it has not been recent that they've tagged me,
yeah,
but they've clicked on it and like, hey, I saw, because one of them reached out and I was like, where did you even find me? Like, we have no mutual friends on Facebook. I almost missed a message because it went to my other folder and like all the things. And he was like, I saw you on such and such a post. And I'm like,
yeah,
that was 2 years ago. But yeah, they do. I mean, it's easy to go in those groups and just search bookkeeper or what tax
right.
preparer or whatever, you know, and that's who they want to see is the ones that are recommended. And I'm gonna tell you, that's another thing that a lot of, and you've probably heard this before too, a lot of people always are like, I don't want to post on my personal Facebook page because I don't want to spam my family and friends and stuff like that. And yeah, I mean, you don't, but at the same time, there's some people that I graduated high school with that's been almost 15 years. I haven't talked to them or seen them since, but they're friends with me on Facebook. And there's some of the top people that are tagging me in the post because they've seen my post. They knew me personally back then, all the things. So like for me personally, I feel like you're missing out on a huge opportunity by not posting that stuff there,
Absolutely.
you know?
So I hear this all the time. People don't want to spam their friends. They feel sleazy and salesy by doing it. Number
Yep.
one, are they paying your bills? No.
Right. Exactly.
You got to make
Yep.
your own money. You got to look out for yourself. Number one, yourself first and your family. So
Yep.
keep that in mind. But also, I completely get it because even with that in mind, still very uncomfortable for me. Like
Yeah.
I don't love putting my business out there. I put pictures of my kids up, but like I don't really put what I'm doing up much.
Right.
Like, I
Right.
don't know. There's something about it that I'm like, so I get it completely. The other thing I would say, you're completely right with like past acquaintances and friends. They can be some of your biggest supporters, even if they're
Yep.
not in your niche and who you want to talk to directly. They probably know people, just like the lady from church that we talked about earlier. They might have a brother or a cousin that's a contractor or whatever. Um,
Yep.
so it's super helpful to post to your personal page. I get the question a lot of personal versus business page. And I did want to bring that up because it's super
That's a good
important.
one. Yep.
Personal profile will always win on algorithm, engagement, views, anything. Facebook wants you to pay. They want you to pay to play. They want you to buy ads. And that's why whenever you make a post on your or your business page, um, immediately you get the little pop-up that says boost this post because they want you to pay.
Yep.
So it's super, super valuable to keep posting on that business page because again, people will search your business out and they want to see, activity. But your personal page is always going to make a bigger impact in your marketing. So keep that in mind when you're marketing. And I know it's uncomfortable. It's something that, you might like, I think was it just Tom that said
Yeah, you can create a
he
second.
created a second profile. So that's a great option. You can have two profiles and make one your business profile and just add a bunch of people from your niche. And then your OG profile that you've had since 2007, you can keep all your friends and family there. That's an option. When I first started out with the online business arena, I started in a direct sales company. So I sold lipstick. It was like 2016, I think. Um, but again, I was so nervous. Like it made me so uncomfortable to market it on my personal profile, even though that's what all of my mentors and like my upline told me to do.
Yeah.
They told me like just go live on your personal page. But like I had, old friends that I didn't want to know my business. I had like exes, like I don't want them to know what I'm doing. Like I don't want to be embarrassed, whatever.
Right.
Cares, right? They're not paying my bills, but still, I was so reserved. I didn't want to talk about anything on my personal page. So I created a group, and it's just like this group that we're in right now. It's a free group. It was a free group. Anybody could join. And I just kind of put everybody that I could, like all the girlfriends that I had, any like girls. I sold lipstick, so like
Yeah.
anybody
Anybody,
can wear
any
lipstick,
girls.
of course, but like anybody that, that I thought would be interested in purchasing lipstick, um, put them in this group. And then it was almost like this free for all. Like I felt so free. I went live on that thing every day. I literally did a live one time where I did my makeup and I looked like a man. Like it was so ridiculous. And then my husband, who was in the living room at the time, I was in the bathroom. I was like laughing so hard. I couldn't even breathe. And I like scared him. I like came out into the living room. This was all on a Facebook Live.
That's
Like,
funny.
I don't know. The like security of having a private group was like all I needed because I just like totally blew the top off. Like I did crazy stuff. Like I did my makeup like a dude. I had like a whole beard. It
That's
was eye
funny.
makeup. I don't know. It was just so funny. But yeah, like so there's options. You can do a Facebook group. Um and Facebook groups are so if like your personal profile's here and your business page is here, Facebook group is probably just a little bit lower than your personal page because you can post in it on your personal page or from your personal page rather. Um and again, it's kind of like an email list where like this whole group of people is curated to you, like they want to be there because if
Yep.
they didn't, they would leave. Um,
Exactly.
and it's a little bit more control. It's just a little bit more control over that audience where you can just kind of keep them like they're like your little
Yep.
audience.
Yep. Most definitely. So we actually have a question on Facebook.
Oh yeah.
I keep hearing to start marketing that I need to find out where my niche clients are online. How do I begin to even find that out?
So do you have a niche, number one? If you don't, think of a few things that you have experience in. So like maybe your dad was a plumber. I don't know. And so you've grown up around plumbing. You know how they talk. You know how to talk to a plumber. Anything like that. It could be any type of like real world experience that you have. Um, maybe, your grandpa was a dentist or your neighbor was a dentist, anything like that. Maybe any like connections that you might have. Think of those first because those are going to be really strong um niches for you just because you already know them, right? You know
Yep.
how to talk to them, you know them as people, you're going to know how to market to them. The other thing is like, what are you interested in? Maybe you really love getting your hair done and you're like, you know what? I love hairdressers. I'd love to work with the hairdressers. So think of a niche. You don't have to niche down right away, but it is a little bit easier to find people when you have a niche.
So she
Um,
said she has one, solopreneurs, therapists, chiropractors, etc. is.
oh, okay. So perfect. What I would do then is start utilizing Facebook groups. So just like I said, I would create a Facebook group for my niche. There are Facebook groups out there for your niche already. So search chiropractors. You'll have hundreds of Facebook groups come up. Infiltrate those groups, start adding people. You're good.
Yep. And to circle back to something Ali said earlier, the neighborhood groups, town pages, like all that, type in chiropractor therapist because people are in there recommending, and a lot of times they're tagging that specific person, not just their business. Sometimes it's their business name. So then you could do a little research and kind of figure it out. But a lot of times they're tagging that person, especially like when you're dealing with contractors and stuff like that. It's usually
Yeah.
that person directly that they tag.
Landscapers.
Yep.
Yeah. There's so many local Facebook groups are so valuable. Um, I mean, you can search out, I mean, think about how many are just in your area, right? I mean, I can think of at least 6 right now that's within like my school district. So think of if you're, an online business, you don't have to just do your area, right? Like you could go
Yep.
search up a random Facebook group from like Shelbyville, Indiana or something, like
Yep.
anything. So yeah.
Yep, most definitely. Because if you start in the beginning of my business, I typed in a lot of the states and big cities and stuff that I could think of in small businesses, like that word and small businesses in the search bar on Facebook. And there's so many groups all over when you type that in that you can find and join. And you don't have to be in that town or anything like that for majority of them. So you can definitely find like that. You can even type in the search bar therapists, chiropractors, whatever, if they have it in their job description on their Facebook page, they'll come up on your search engine on Facebook. So, and same thing, I don't know, like if you're not using Facebook, LinkedIn, Secretary of State website, if you're wanting to do local, you can usually find stuff like that on your Secretary of State website. Or I'm saying that you can't, I'm in Louisiana, you can here. You can type in that and find all that stuff. Chamber of Commerce, they usually, if you're a member of that, but a lot of them on their websites have a list of all the members that are chamber members. Okay, Sherry said her internet's still cutting out. Okay, she said her internet's still cutting out some, but she's still here. um, but yeah, so Taisha, let me know if that answered your question. I think that probably did that, or if you have more questions about that, for sure. And y'all, I'll tell you something about niching. And Ellie, I don't know if you know this or not. When I started my business, so the name of my business is Harvest Books. When I started my business, I came from a tractor dealership. I worked at a tractor dealership for 10 years. I was a service manager over there, so I knew a lot of sugarcane farmers, landscape people, all the things. So I'm like, this is going to be my target audience. This is who I want to market my business toward because I have these people on Facebook already, like all that. To this day, I still do not have one client of that niche at all. So yeah, it happens. But it got me out there and it had me adding people and I was posting on Facebook because I was marketing to these people and like all the things. So like don't like when you're doing your search, send other people friends requests and stuff too if you're open to other industries too. Some people aren't, and which is totally understandable, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. You might start out with hairdressers and decide that you don't want to work with hairdressers anymore. And you might totally change who your niche is, and that's fine.
Yep.
You don't have to stick with them.
Yep.
It's your business. You get to choose.
Exactly. Yep, most definitely. All right. I don't know if we have any other questions. Sherry, I don't know if you're here or you want us to just Okay, Taisha said that's how she fell into therapist. Awesome.
Yeah. And you might find that it just comes naturally. Like people just might be gravitating towards you, and you never even thought that farmers would come to you, but they
Right.
like you. You talk to them and you market to them, and they just
Yep.
gravitate to you.
Exactly. Yep. You never know.
I'll jump in. The only thing I
Hey.
would add to that is if you are looking, it sounds like the question kind of is, where do I find these people? Outside of Facebook, if you're looking for a niche, I recommend looking on YouTube. So like if a chiropractor is looking to grow his business, who are the YouTube influencers teaching him how to grow his business? I want to subscribe to that channel. I want to be an active commenter. I want to see if I can build a relationship with that influencer, because that would be a cool shout out, right? Outside of that, what trade shows or events do chiropractors go to build their business? What magazines are they looking at and studying to grow their business? What associations are they part of? So chiropractors specifically do keep up with some continuing education. Where are they getting that? How are they getting that? Are there podcasts that chiropractors listen to? And I want to absorb myself as if I'm growing my own chiropractor business. I want to learn, what are they doing? And a good book for that is called Pumpkin Plan by Mike Michalowicz. And the reason I point that book out is, so the book is specifically talking about how to like grow a giant pumpkin. And to grow a giant pumpkin, you weed out all of the small pumpkins that are going to absorb the resources designed that we want to direct to that big pumpkin. As we figure out how to grow a giant pumpkin, we're going to, and that's what a niche is, right? So a niche is really weeding out all of the distractions. So this service, that service, it's saying, I can serve this chiropractor. I can do it with this skill set. I can do it with this additional service. So like a value add, like a budget or something like that, a course, maybe whatever that is. But that allows you to get into their circle by everyone else who influences them. So could you, and that might open doors to advertise where they're at. So trade shows, maybe you just go visit a trade show, and instead of paying for like a booth, maybe you just go visit the trade show and start to learn your audience. Like what are the chiropractors really needing? Maybe as you're walking around and talking to chiropractors, you learn they're all struggling with collections. Maybe you learn that they're all struggling with profitability. Maybe you learn that they're all struggling to keep an office assistant, which might tip you off if you were on our payroll thing a couple of weeks ago, that they need benefits or a stronger package to keep the office assistant, which you are uniquely designed to serve, right? So that is one of the beauties of niching, is those problems, the ability to create a giant pumpkin. Like that door opens because now you're seeing it and you're weeding out the distractions. So I just wanted to throw that in there, if that helps on the therapist chiropractor conversation for anyone looking on their niche. Outside of that, while I still have good internet, I just wanted to share my screen for a second. Lonnie posted this week that she said she's so thankful to have the support of all the coaches in CB4S. Running a bookkeeping business isn't easy, with so many different situations that can arise that I haven't run into before. Whether it is a payroll issue, an e-commerce client, a software that she's not familiar with, or I just need help troubleshooting, there's sure to be a coach who can help. Additional support with marketing, mindset, co-working calls, and flexible times to schedule one-to-ones. So that help is just a few more reasons how the group has helped me continue to run a successful bookkeeping business. So Lonnie has had her business for more than a year, and she's been with us over a year now too.
Yep.
So I just wanted to share that, because so one-to-ones, if you're wondering, we have, it's like 10, 11 people you can schedule with, and it's whenever works for you. So you just, whenever works for you. Nights, weekends, whatever. There's a solution for you there. I also wanted to let you know that the doors are open to the Bookkeeper Blueprint Fast Start bundles right now. So if you're looking for resources there, Allie, do you want to speak to some of the Bookkeeper Blueprint in terms of how long the doors are open and anything there with that?
Yeah, for sure. So the Bookkeeper Blueprint is open. We are taking calls. So if you want to hop on a call to talk about kind of the options that we have, um, we would like to get those calls booked by Friday because that will kind of secure your spot into these fast start bundles. Because then we are kind of I don't know, like just secure by Friday, I guess. The doors are gonna close. These fast start bundles, we're taking on a few clients right now. So yeah, if you want to book a call, we have the link for that, right?
Yep.
Fine.
I'll grab that real quick and drop it in Facebook and everywhere.
And then I think if you guys still have more questions, I wasn't trying to interrupt. I just wanted to get that in before my internet went out
Yeah, for sure.
or glitched again. So so if you guys still have questions for Allie, she is still taking questions.
Yeah. Any questions you have, and I'll just add, I've been with CVF for us for, was this 2 weeks now? I guess
Going on 3. I
going
don't.
on 3. Yeah. Um, and like a lot of you in this group, in the Moms on a Mission group, I have been in it since the beginning, and I didn't really quite know everything that was included in the Bookkeeper Blueprint. And I just told them the other day, I told Sherry and Megan, I was like, you guys, what the heck? I am literally blown away because I had no idea the level of support in here. Like I I didn't know exactly what you guys did. I knew, I had a gist of it, right? Um, but like you guys are there's literally questions being answered every 5 minutes in that group. It's like my notifications go off every 5 minutes and they get answered like right away. So this program is crazy valuable to anybody that has a bookkeeping business, number one, because if just like Lonnie said in her post, there's weird, crazy, like there's like random things that happen with bookkeeping, right? And you might not know what to do. And you might need somebody that has more experience, has that's worked on stuff like this before, or maybe it's software issue where you've never done this software that they're using. There's somebody on this team that can help you. And again, like Sherry just said, the availability is literally anytime, nights, weekends. There's somebody in East, Central, West Coast, like Mountain Time. There's somebody everywhere that can help you. So it's just so crazy valuable to me. I was like, and what are you charging? Okay, let's up that a little bit. Just kidding. But I was like, I'm still blown away because I'm not joking. My phone goes off every 5 minutes, and so does Sherry and Megan's. So they can attest to this. I mean, it's literally constant, and the coaches are on it. Like it's the question is posted and they're answered right away. So it's so cool. It's so valuable. I feel so privileged to just be a part of this community because it's support. It's real support. And I'm super excited to be a part of it. And then on the other side of it, you might not even have a bookkeeping business yet, right? Maybe you want to start one. There's a full course that teaches you exactly what to do to start your own bookkeeping business. And then there's the support behind it to answer any questions that you might have once you do start. So you don't have to feel like, okay, I started this and I have a first client, but I have no idea what I'm doing, right? So you can start, you get your first client, and then you can book a call with somebody and say, okay, I have my first client, but please walk me through this. And they will do that for you. Like you have the support to back it. So not only do you learn, and it's a really comprehensive course, so not only do you learn all of this, but you also get that backing where we're in your corner. We are here. We want you to succeed. We want you to feel comfortable doing the stuff. And it's amazing to me. So just wanted to add my little tidbit. I know I'm
Thank
so,
you for that.
but I was like, we're not talking about this enough. We have to talk about how valuable this is.
It is a
Yeah,
fun group for sure.
yeah, and it's definitely been helpful having you come in from seeing the outside because we're so into it. Like we just assume, oh, everybody knows what we do, whatever, and like, no, apparently not.
Yeah, we gotta talk about you guys more.
Yeah.
And what I think is cool about how it's set up is all of the coaches run their own bookkeeping business. And so they're onboarding clients, they're offboarding clients, they're marketing, they're learning new software, they're staying on top of industry trends. So it's constantly relevant. And
Yep.
it's like the best practices because it's what we're doing now. Like it's what makes sense now. So, if a software stopped being relevant 2 years ago, it's not being talked about anymore. Like we're not using it. It's so 2 years ago. And we're on to the next thing that is actually getting results now. And so it doesn't like it dies out. It dies out from the course. It just dies. So it's constantly updated and relevant, which I think is really cool. So
Yeah, it really is. Everybody's like up to date with their knowledge, which is so awesome.
yep. Well, cool. I just think it's fun. It's fun to see the successes. It's fun to see just like I saw an arm, a baby's arm, toddler's arm, as I have one that fell asleep in my lap. And I mean, they're not being disruptive or anything. And I think the reality is we are creating businesses, we are creating a life that we want to live. At one point last year, I realized my husband and I completely work from home. We can be anywhere in the country, in the world, if we wanted, and not be missing a beat. Obviously, if we wanted to take some time off, we could take some time off. But like the reality is, we could also structure our day to take client calls when works for us or works with the kids' schedule, and so there's just a lot of freedom. And I think with some businesses, the hustle is real. And I'm not saying that there isn't hustle involved in bookkeeping, but you can quickly get to the point, some within a year, some within 3 to 4 years, where hustle isn't really the name of the game, right? There's strategy and upkeep, and the name of the game is delegation and like really situating the business so that you're stepping into that life that you want. So
Yeah, and that's been like a huge thing with bookkeeping, like a lot of people want to start e-commerce businesses and stuff like that. We have so much expense when it comes along with that. Doing a service-based business like this, you don't have as much talking expense wise. So you can make more money and spend less time doing it necessarily, and you have control over that. I think that's been one of the hugest things for me, like especially being a single mom. When an extra expense comes up or something, it's like, oh, let me go find another cleanup job or whatever the case is. You have that freedom, whereas some other things you may not, for sure.
right, where it's not directly tied to I put money in to get money out and there's
Exactly.
risk involved. I keep up with my marketing. We were talking to someone yesterday and she kind of said, hey, it's starting to pick up. My marketing's working, so I'm going to drop my marketing efforts. And the first thing me and Megan said is, no, don't do that. Marketing your business is like paying yourself first. And so I think all the tips that Allie gave are really relevant. And there's not just one. She is using Facebook marketing, but she's also involved in community. So we're not hermits at home. She is involved in community, and it didn't dawn on her as we were talking to her that, well, you are in community, you are talking about it in community, that is marketing. And I think just the mindset shift that you are like a walking marketing person now that you're a business owner, is really important to have, because it can feel, if you're just doing marketing at home, you're also working from home, now you become a hermit and you become really isolated, and that does not have to be reality in your bookkeeping
Right.
business. So
Yep, most definitely.
well, I hope this was super helpful to everyone who joined us live, and to everyone who's listening in their cars, on a walk, on YouTube, from their televisions or phones. And I hope it's helpful to stream this. Let us know if this is helpful, if we're in the places that you want us to be. All those things, like where, all those things. You're welcome, Suze.
Nice to meet you too.
I will see you guys next, or we all will see you guys next Thursday. Anything else happening? Schedule your call if you haven't, if you're listening. If you need that link, reach out to us on Facebook, and we'll make sure you get that link to schedule so that you don't miss that window.
Yep, most definitely.
Okay.
All right, everybody have a good Easter.
Yeah.
Yes.
Happy Easter.
Yes, happy Easter.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
Thank you, Allie.
Yes.